Last time we were at the show, it wasn't the Orlando show, we were at the Atlanta show, and we were talking about this unit.
Yes.
So walk me through the unit for people who didn't see that video. What is this unit?
So this is the Midea PWHP, or package window heat pump. So what the industry didn't know it needed was a high performance, cold climate window unit that can put out 100% heat capacity at 5F.
Right.
Heat pump, inverter compressor, 115 volt plug-in, 15 amp breaker. So plug it, saddle design. So through the saddle design, we don't lose our vision, our window, right?
Yeah, it's a cool aspect to it.
So we saddle over, we slide down, we accordion in, so multiple window thicknesses, we accordion in, plug it in the wall, the thing fires up, gives you 9,000 BTUs of size, 9,000 BTUs at 5F, and heats like a beast. Big in multifamily. It didn't know it needed it until we came up with it, and now everybody needs it.
Right, so if you look at all of the situations that are happening, like whether it's in New York or whether it's in BC,
Exactly.
I'm picking those two spots.
Yes.
They've had some pretty significant issues with cooling, right?
Absolutely.
And specifically cooling and peak load. So, putting in a window shaker, that's the term I like to use for the
That's
AC
right,
styles.
that's what it is.
As you've identified, it's gonna fill that window. It's not very aesthetically pleasing, but it also adds significantly to the load for the building. Can you accommodate
Yes.
those ACs? Can you utility? So this is an opportunity to take out a window shaker and put it in a heat pump.
You got it. And the other thing it does, what the window shakers do, is the infiltration is terrible.
Yeah.
Both from heat and cold and pollutants and even noise, right?
Yeah.
And so as we saddle this thing down and close it up, we can seal it up tight. So if you think about the overall load, we're trying to minimize that with less infiltration.
Yeah.
So the other key to this is not only is it an inverter compressor, so we're not on off, the amp draw stays very consistent.
Yeah.
But the other key to this thing is, what do we do with the condensation?
Yeah.
So we're on the outside part of the unit. The last thing we want is this thing to drip. So if we're in multifamily in New York City, as you said, and it's cold and we're condensating, now we've got an ice rink down on the ground, unsafe. So we've got a high pressure mist. So what this does is, on the condensation size, high pressure mist blows it out, freezes.
Interesting.
And then just comes down. It's not water. It doesn't create the ice rink on the ground.
Yeah.
More safe. Nothing down there. It's perfect.
That's actually really thoughtful, because people don't think about that. You have a lot of these units installed, you're going to have that. I want to talk a little bit about the installation. Like, one of the things I noted last time when I saw it, you got these nice handles, because you can't really see it. We'll get some B-roll that shows it. The outdoor unit sits on the outside of the window, the indoor unit sits on the inside of the unit. What else actually communicates, short of the inverter low voltage wiring? What connections go from the outdoor unit to the indoor unit?
So how we can do it in the saddle is, basically this part of things is where we are communicating from the outdoor to the indoor. So we've made it smaller, and then our engineers, who are way smarter than me, came up with a mounting bracket. So this thing will actually kick up and over, slide in, and then come down. Pistons. So one handle, two guys lift this thing up, put it over, the piston brings it down, accordion it together, plug it in, plug and play, you're ready to go.
I think we got a pretty good B-roll video we can insert to both of our puppet gestures of how it works, but it's a pretty slick design. What have you guys learned from having installed a few of these now? I think it's a really cool concept. It's a cool design. I'm sure you guys have learned a few things about the application. What are some of the exciting things you've learned from installing some of them?
Absolutely. So we learned a lot through the Clean Heat for All Challenge, which was basically the birthplace of this product. As the New York City Housing Authority says, we got to get more efficient. We got to get, and you've seen this, the boilers and those things they put out so much heat. In the middle of winter, people are cracking their windows while the boiler's going, so they're basically letting the outside cold in because it's too hot. Now we seal it up, we give them the exact amount of heat that they want, but there's always improvement. So through that New York City Housing Authority Clean Heat for All Challenge, where we were awarded a contract for 20,000 of these, through the process, how do we make it install easier? How do we make it perform better? And so through the innovation product and the excellent engineers we have, they've had continuous improvement, and now the entire market from other areas, big multifamily areas, go, we want some of this action, and so Midea is there for them.
Well, you make a really good point that I sort of glanced over in my earlier comments about it. Typically this technology gets deployed where you have a boiler, and they're wanting to put AC into the spaces, and it's really important we reiterate that point. is this is both. This is a 115 volt. You plug it in. You've got your heating. You've got your cooling. You're not spiking with a huge peak load. So it's sort of a different approach to taking a boiler plant out and putting, say, a 50-ton chiller in.
Exactly. And the other part of this is where a lot of the window shakers, as you say, they're straight air conditioning, but their heat source is an auxiliary heat strip inside of it, right?
Yeah.
There's no auxiliary heat strip here. We're total heat pump. So we're lucky at Midea, within Midea Group, we actually own the compressor company as well. So they can help us. They're our sister company. So we work together and go, this is what we need the compressor to do. Okay, we'll help you. And we've got this high performance multifamily package window heat pump, and it's super efficient, 115, plug and play, you're ready to go.
And is this only sold through the contractor base? Is there other opportunities for this? I look at this and this is a pretty simple technology. You're going to keep it within the skilled trades, or what is the future plans for the unit?
In an ideal situation now, we'll send it through special projects or through the skilled trades as that grows. And as you see the technology, of course, this is going to be more expensive than the $250 window shaker at Walmart.
Well, as it should be, because we're comparing apples and cars, right?
That's
exactly,
not even oranges, right?
So
we're so far advanced. So in the beginning, we'll go through a contractor base. We'll go through distribution like we do with our other, because they want them in stock. And then I would say housing authorities should keep a couple of these as spares, right? Just in case. And then that way, if you need to clean it, you can switch it out. You can do that kind of stuff. But as of now, we'll go through some professional channels and see how that works. It's a beast and it works like a champ.
Yeah, I like the simplicity of it. What sort of maintenance are you seeing now that you've got like 20,000 of these installed? What are the maintenance tips? What are some of the things you got to pay attention to? Anything?
Just typical maintenance. Keep the coil clean, keep the thing clean, and it runs great.